What's up, everybody? Hope you all had a great day. Getting into this episode of Beyond the Gates. Actually, before I get into this episode, it's cold as shit. It's freezing. I was leaving work tonight. I came outside. I'm glad I had my big coat because that shit was cold. I was like, soon as I got up in here, this heat came on. I pulled out all my blankets because y'all know, I put a lot of my blankets away. Like when the springtime come, I put a lot of my big blankets away. And, I just use like one little blanket and sheets and stuff, the top sheet. That's what I use. But once it started getting really, really cold, all those blankets came back out because it'd be freezing. I got to be comfortable when I sleep. I cannot sleep cold. I cannot because I'm be uncomfortable all damn night. Listen, it's times like this, anytime in general, but it's really times like this. I always feel bad for, homeless people and stuff like that. That's why we all got to, show gratitude and be so, so grateful to have roofs over our head because I couldn't imagine. Sleeping out in this cold and, just sleeping outside, period. I just couldn't imagine it. So hopefully, a lot of people out there that don't have homes, like hopefully they find in somewhere warm to sleep, a shelter, somewhere, heating center, wherever they can go, the church building, wherever you can go, find you some shelter. Because this ain't no joke out here. Like, it's freezing. But yeah, getting into this episode of Beyond the Gates, I was totally on Madison's side this whole episode. I really was. I was on her side. I didn't understand why Chelsea wasn't getting it. Like, why she wasn't understanding Madison's point of view. And Kat could not wait to get the hell up away from them because Kat is still coming off her high or whatever, from her break with Tomas, their Thanksgiving break. I guess they went to a bed and breakfast or something. And that whole situation with Madison and Chelsea was just blowing her high. She wasn't high, but you know what I mean. I would have exit stage left because Kat, she was trying to get Madison to understand that the way they grew up with, wanting to give a great first impression. That's how they were taught. So I get that part. Chelsea wanted to, make a great impression on Madison's mother. I can understand that. But if somebody tells you about their family, like they don't go into detail about their family, like they don't really go into detail, but they tell you bullet points about their family, like certain little things, like, oh, don't trust this person, be careful of this person, woo, 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 woo. They giving you the blueprint without giving you all the facts. You should just be quiet and listen because they know their family obviously better than you. They grew up with their family. They know them. You know what I'm saying? You're meeting them for the first time. And that's the problem with Chelsea. She went about it all wrong. And I agree 1,000% with Madison. I don't believe in that hallucid, however you say the word. I don't believe in all of that. That spiritual healing type stuff. I don't believe in that. You know how people do? Like they be trying to do home remedies and all this spiritual stuff, to cure cancer and all. I just don't believe in all that. For me, I believe in going to a doctor. I believe in taking the proper medications. I believe in surgeries. If you need to have that, that's what I believe in. I don't believe in all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Like Madison's mother, she doesn't believe in traditional healing. She believes in the spiritual type healing and home remedies and all that. And even Kat was in agreement with Madison. Kat was like, yeah, I gotta agree with Madison on that. I'm like, exactly. It's like, why is Chelsea not getting it? I don't blame Tomas and Kat for getting the hell up out of there because I would have too. I wouldn't keep getting in the middle of their little squabbles. But I am glad Chelsea met up with Anita. And Anita was being real with her. And she let Chelsea know, like, yo, you went about it all wrong. Because Anita went through a similar situation with Vernon back in the day when she met his family for the first time. And she took Vernon's lead and she kept her mouth closed because Vernon, warned her about one of his aunts and, Anita never knew what the lady did, but she knew that Vernon and his mom were uncomfortable with her, and they would treat her a certain way because of her antics. And Anita knew to let it go and let Vernon lead. She had that respect for him, and I feel like Chelsea needs to have that for Madison. Like, if she's warning you about her mother and how she is, you just need to listen to her and zip your lip. You know what I'm saying? Button that lip and just take her lead. That's what you should do. You know what I'm saying? Like, she knows her mother better than you, obviously. So why would you sit here and go against the grain? I'm glad Anita told her that, because she needed to hear it from somebody else. Because for whatever reason, Chelsea just wasn't understanding. She just wasn't getting it. And I'm like, you're about to blow up your relationship for what? Over nonsense. Like, if somebody telling you about their family members and the bad parts of them, you might want to just be quiet and just listen and understand. Even if they don't give you the details, sometimes you don't need the detail. Just that little bit of intel is enough to make you just, all right, let me see it for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you will see it for yourself without them even having to tell you. So I don't blame Madison for being pissed. I do want to know more about Madison, because she did mention her father, because she said Chelsea was starting to act just like her dad. So I would love to know more about him and his situation. Like, I want to know more of her background. So anyway, moving on from that. Anita is not playing. She went to the police station and talked to Elon and basically let him know, listen, can you make Leslie Thomas disappear? He was like, hey, what the hell are you talking about? She was like, at least put a leash on her ass or something. Get some cops at Winterfest or whatever. He was like, sound like you need security. That's what you need. But she was willing to pay off-duty officers or whatever to be security at Winterfest and keep tabs on, Leslie. And of course, he asked Marcel to do it. Marcel was happy to do it. I mean, shit, it come with good pay. Why not? Marcel was all about that. He all about it. So, of course, he was going to take the assignment. I really want to know what Marcel is up to. Because he had went to the hospital claiming that he was going to see somebody or whatever, but he had bumped into Leslie. And I wonder if he going to actually take an interest in her, or is he going to really, like, work to nail her? That's what I want to know. Like, he going to lock her up. I really want to know what his agenda is with Leslie. Is it genuine, or is he working the angle? Well, I mean, that man always working the angle, so it wouldn't surprise me none. So anyway, moving on from that. So Samantha, I guess she was calling Eva or whatever, because Samantha is hell-bent on getting this free clinic off the ground, because she was like, oh, I need to borrow some money. Eva was like, shit, I can give you $20, $40. She was like, nah, I need thousands. Eva was like, oh, shit, what, you in trouble? That's my first thought. Somebody asked me that kind of money. That's my first thought. But Samantha is very serious about getting this free clinic off the ground. And I admire that. But why go to Eva, though? Of course, it's going to lead to Leslie, because she laid out her whole plan for the clinic or whatever, and Eva was actually impressed with it and said that she would run it by Leslie. But I hate that, though. Because the reason I can't stand it is because, of course, it's going to make Leslie look even better in people's eyes. Her getting involved and putting up money for a clinic is going to make her look like a saint. Because she already, donating sports centers and trying to help with Winterfest. Like, she's really integrating herself into Fairmont Crest society. So this clinic is definitely going to make her even more big-headed. She probably going to want her name on it. It's going to be a mess. That's why I hated Samantha would go to Eva for it, knowing she going to go to Leslie. Because I'm like, Samantha got the connections to call up people herself. Like, if Martin can't do it politically, or there's a lot of political red tape to get that done, she could have called her grandfather, her grandmother. They got juice, just as much juice, if not more, to get this done. So I was like, yeah, why call them? Because Eva was surprised, though, that she called her about it, because she was like, shit, I thought you was calling me about, birth control and all that type of stuff. And they were laughing and joking about it. And, of course, Kat walked in at the most inopportune moment, overheard that part, and jumped to all type of conclusions. And Eva was trying to be like, yo, can you chill out? Like, you jumping to conclusions. You ain't even hear the whole conversation. Even June was looking at Kat like, if you don't get your ass out of here. Like, June was just glaring at her. With all type of attitude. And I don't blame them, because I feel like Kat needs to slow her roll. because even Samantha was getting annoyed by Kat, and letting her know you need to go back to the old Kat, because this Kat that I'm looking at done changed. Because she finally calmed down once Samantha told her about the free clinic and what she was trying to do. She finally calmed the hell down, and apologized for overreacting. I'm like, yeah, you need to relax. Like, don't get me wrong, she got every right not to like Eva, but I feel like Kat need to change her approach with Eva, because every time she comes up and gives attitude and shrieks at her, just straight go off the handle, all it's doing is making everybody in her family not like her at this point. That's all it's doing. She got to find a different approach, because always jumping to conclusions and coming after Eva every 5 seconds, every time you see her it's on site, and you're doing this in front of everybody. It's making Eva look sympathetic to people. You know what I'm saying? Especially people in her own family. So she might want to dial that back and find another approach. You get more bees with honey. She just need to fall back a little bit. So anyway, moving on from that. So, what's the name? Nicole being all mopey or whatever, because she trying to figure out this speech for Winterfest. Plus, Carlton just canceled on her, talking about he got an emergency, so he not going to be able to take her to Winterfest. And she all mopey about it or whatever. And Shanice was like, shit, I'm going to hook you up. Like, Shanice said, I got somebody for you. Some type of doctor or whatever. She was like, I got somebody for you, but Nicole, like, I don't know about all that, because she not used to going to Winterfest by herself. Usually, obviously, it's always with Ted, but due to circumstance, she was looking forward to going with Carlin. I was like, listen, if Shanice got somebody with you, if Shanice got somebody she want to hook you up with, obviously it's not going to be no bum, because Shanice don't look like she deal with bum dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? She knows some dudes that's about something. So I would trust her judgment. If I was Nicole, I would trust her judgment. So anyway, Anita comes in there or whatever, and Nicole's sitting there talking about, oh, me and Carlton just friends. If y'all was just friends, you wouldn't be so bummed about him not taking you. If y'all just friends. Like, she definitely like Carlton. But I'm glad that Anita got her test results back and it came back clear. Thank God. Because when people get a little up there in age, you get worried about their health. So thank God everything came back clear. Leslie pissed me off, because she came pounding on Nicole's door, begging Nicole for some help or whatever. And the way Anita was glaring at her, Anita was shooting daggers at her with her eyes. Like, if you don't get your ass out this office. And she's sitting there talking about she need Nicole to help Peaches or whatever, because Peaches is depressed. Like, she don't even want to do this clinical trial, because she feel like she gonna die anyway. So she don't even want to go through with it. So Leslie got the suggestion from the doctor that she get Peaches a therapist. So she want Nicole to do it. Nicole was like, hell no. She was like, She was like, I could refer you. And Leslie had the nerve to bring up that whole ledge incident. No, I want you because you good. Remember how you got me off that ledge? I love how Nicole was just like, don't even bring that shit up, because you already know that shit was fake. Don't bring it up. See, I feel like the only reason Nicole did agree to help Leslie was because, one, she was doing it for Peaches and Eva, but also that's her calling as a doctor, That's an oath that she took. But if it was me, that's why I say Nicole better than me. Because the way I would have kicked her out and slammed that door in her face and told her to fuck her daughter, and Peaches, that's what I would have did. Because no, I'm not about to help you. Because helping Peaches is helping you. No, I could refer you. That's the most I would probably do. And even that's being generous. But no, get somebody else. But you know what? Nicole did it. She went and talked to Peaches, because Peaches was not having it. Peaches done wrote down. She was like, listen, this therapy shit, she said, this for soft ass rich people. She said, I ain't got time for this. Leave me alone. Peaches was not here for it. But after Nicole talked to her, she snapped out of it and she was ready to do the clinical trial. And Leslie ass was sitting by the door, listening in on the conversation. Eva come up trying to talk to her. She like, oh, you need to hush. She said, don't you know when people eavesdrop? And I'm like, Leslie, get away from the damn door. But Nicole helped her, and Leslie sent her, oh, thank you. No, ain't nobody do it for your little raggedy ass. Ain't nobody do it for you. That's why I said Nicole better than me, because I wouldn't help nothing. I would have wrote down a referral, and you going to get your tacky ass out of my office is what you're going to do. That's the most help you're gonna get from me. But I like how Nicole opened up, got Peaches to open up, especially after she let Peaches know, like, hell no, me and Leslie are not friends. Hell to the no. So Nicole was by the nurse's hub or whatever. And the doctor that Shanice was trying to hook her up with came in. We didn't get to see who the doctor was, but I'm guessing it's Greg Vaughn's character. That's what I'm guessing. Dr. Rollins, whatever his name is. That's what I'm guessing she saw. So I can't wait to see them together. Because I'm pretty sure once she get with Greg Vaughn character, it's going to be Ted who, Carlton who. I'm just saying. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought. And I will see you all later. Peace.